Hello and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is currently testing the micro support zone that I shared with you in the last update. Bitcoin has performed quite well today. We have a nice local upside breakout. And this move to the upside could be part of a third wave. So quick reminder, the idea was that possibly here a fourth wave bottomed. Could also be a B wave, but in the short term that doesn't matter. At a low formed here, we had a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave move down. Great. Okay, 5 up, 3 down. Typically a recipe for rising prices, especially if support does not break. And you might remember from our videos earlier this week, support held, right? Support held at the 78.6 retrace level exactly. And the price moved up and then formed that potential 1-2-1-2 setup I shared earlier today with you. Now, my condition was that to really believe this is a 1-2-1-2 setup, we first of all need a break above the overnight highs, so around 114,400. Good. We've seen movements to the upside. Great. Yeah, we even broke briefly above this 15,100 resistance level. And I shared earlier today on X an overview, a heat map, basically. A heat map that showed that in the area just around 115,000, sorry guys, 115,100, there is not only a structural resistance level, but we also have some liquidity clusters, yeah, which might indicate that the price might just move there to grab this liquidity. Just below 116K. I believe that might have happened today. So we moved there into the resistance area. Not only that, we also have Fibonacci resistance, okay? And now we are testing support. Now, I don't like really what I see there. Don't like that red candle, but we're still holding above support. Now, to keep the potential alive that we have a meaningful low in place, and to be honest, I don't really see much evidence in the altcoin sector, but Bitcoin moved up nicely, so as long as we're holding 114,690, this could now be a third wave to the upside. Would need one more high to really call it a completed third wave. Then I can add support for this fourth wave, and we can climb higher like this, yeah? But what if we break below $114,690? What if we break below our upper micro support? Well, if it happens obviously here now because we're now testing support. So this would be the test, yeah, the stress test for the bulls happening right now. But I already have an alternative scenario on the chart, which might just lead to a retest or reset of the wave 2. So we could say that this here was a wave 2 low, right? On Tuesday, I just explained that. And it's entirely possible. However, if we break support, I have to assume this breakout is failing. So the 114,690 level, right, that is our level where things could fail. Any decisive break below that level means, well, we are not in an upside impulse. So I would then first watch for a broader wave 2. So I could still see this as a wave 1 to the upside, this swing high into the Monday high, this rally into the Monday high. But the move down was an A wave. This here is a B wave in a 3-wave move. And we could come down in a C wave. The way this goes at the moment, I believe that's highly likely. So it might already have happened when you watch the video. So I want to base my video on that assumption. And I will give you a target zone for wave C. And it might just mean that we're going to test the previous lows again. Bear in mind the invalidation point for this 1-2 setup, if we form a broader wave 2, the invalidation point is the Sunday low that formed at $111,960. So yeah, looks like we might break it, but the invalidation point, so I have to start from the top of the wave 1. I go to the low of the wave A. We go to the high of the B wave. And this would be the zone to watch. Yeah, this would be the zone to watch. I gotta say though, obviously the 161.8 extension points to 111,850. I would say that's obviously too low because it would be an invalidation. So ideally we would form a low in this blue zone. I'd say possibly around that 123.6 extension the way it looks. Yeah, I still call it alternative because support isn't broken, but we're now there testing it. Especially here the 38.2 retracement is an ideal target for a fourth wave. 114,940. But this is now exactly where the bulls should show up to drive the price higher. Any break below that 50% retracement will likely send us into the blue zone between $112,416 and $113,326. That's the update on Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, I invite you to join us on X for additional updates. Yeah, I just mentioned it. Feel free to join us here for further discussions and further content and updates, and sometimes even video updates and chart updates of coins that we don't cover on YouTube sometimes. So check it out. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.